I'm DJ Teddy Bear, and I'm here today with actor Robert Harris, as I promised you, for an interview, and we're just going to let him take it away, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hello there, I'm actor Robert Harris. You may remember me in a movie that I was in, Cabin Fever, and it came out in 2003, and it's one of the turning points of my life in the movie making business because it's still going strong. And if you haven't seen it, I hope you see it, and tell your friends that I'm on the air and that you've seen me, so that we're going to have this over several, maybe times, different aspects of it, and you can learn a little bit more about me. I played Old Man Cadwell in the movie Cabin Fever, but I thought I'd start at the beginning and tell you that I was born in 1930 at the height of the Depression, and I was born at the Wesley Long, not the Wesley Long, but the Piedmont Memorial Hospital here in Greensboro, right on the square almost. So if people ask me if I'm from Greensboro, I said about as close as you can get to the center of the town, because I was born just about on the square where the Jefferson Building was. But anyway, down the block was the Carolina Theater. And little did I know at the time, but that the Carolina Theater was going to play an important part in my life, where we had the first showing of Cabin Fever on the East Coast, and then they had a showing at the Grumman's Chinese Theater on the West Coast. But before all that happened, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself. I was the only child. My mother and father had just myself, and doctors said to my parents, if you're wise, you will not get pregnant again, that you'll just not have any more children, because my mother was only 5 feet tall, and she was a very pretty woman, and he said that she was going to have a hard time. And my father and mother were told by the doctor that they did not want a midwife tending to us, because they might lose the mother and the baby too. So thank goodness I'm here today, thanks to my parents taking the warning and going to the hospital, and I was born in the hospital. Now the strange thing is, during the Depression, a lot of the wives were having their babies at home because it was very expensive to go to the hospital back in the Depression, and the people couldn't afford it. So anyway, when it came time for me to be born, my mother went to the hospital, and I was born in Piedmont Memorial Hospital in Greensboro. And while I was there, we were there almost 2 weeks. I was the only baby in maternity. So when I was a little child, about 4 or 5, and was worrying my mother, she would look at me and she'd say, I can't say that they gave me the wrong baby because you were the only baby in the maternity. But she said that the nurses had a good time spoiling me. So I may be spoiled, I don't know, but I've had a wonderful life, and I thank God for it. So anyway, I was born, and I lived in Greensboro, and I've lived in Greensboro all my life. So it was a miracle that I could get a part in a big movie and have it go all over the world. So it was my first breakthrough, but I'll get to that later on in another program. But anyway, I was gifted in art and music and dance, and I enjoyed all those things as a child. And so my parents said, now, we don't care what you do in life, but we want you to go to college and get a good education. So I knew I had to do that. So I put everything on hold until I went to college. And after college, I entered the theater, and I was in several great big plays, wonderful Broadway shows, and I was the lead dancer. So I had to go and audition for acting, dancing, and so it was a very complicated situation to get into a play back then, because you had to do everything. You had to dance, sing, and act. And so I was the lead dancer in My Fair Lady, and I was in Little Abner, and it was just a lot of wonderful shows that I was in. So my life continued on, and after I graduated from college, I went into the theater of UNCG.
Now, which college did you go to?
It was at that time known as Women's College, because they did not allow men in the college at that time. So I was the first man to ever dance with the dance company at Women's College. And so I made headlines that I was the first male to ever dance. Now they have dancers that are in there, and they're from all over everywhere. So, but at least I broke the barrier at that time. Later it became co-ed, and now they have plenty of dancers. So anyway, I went to ballet school. I won scholarships. I climbed up through the ballet. I had a Russian teacher, Joseph Levinov, and he was very strict from the old school. And if you made a mistake, he carried a stick with him, and he'd whack you with a stick in places that hurt real bad, so that it'd make an impression on you. He just didn't use words. But anyway, I appreciate that training because it prepared me for the other things in life that were to come, and where I needed discipline. So I graduated from Greensboro College, the first class to graduate from Greensboro College of Men in the 50s. And I was really pleased with that. And I thought, now what am I going to do now? So about every 10 years I did something different. I would work in art some, I would do dancing, I'd be in plays. It was a combination of those things that I liked to do. And above that, I liked to write poetry. So I started writing poetry, and I had my first little book was when I was a child, about 10 years old, called Peeping Through the Keyhole, because that's about as close as you could get to a private life when you were a 10-year-old. And so I called it Peeping Through the Keyhole. And so as life continued, I kept writing, and I started sending my poems to Sam Reagan, who was the editor of the Raleigh News and Observer. And he loved my poems, and he decided to run them in there quite frequently, which I was proud, for about 10 years. And when the second Who's Who of North Carolina came out, they let me know that I had been selected to be in the Who's Who of North Carolina. So anyway, I was in that, and I just kept going on to other things and branching out because I just couldn't get enough. I was going in all directions, but my urges didn't all come at once. I had different things that I could do. I did a little art, I did a little poetry, I did a little dancing. But anyway, I'm going to tell you later about how I fell into the part of the cabin fever. But you take care, and I hope that we'll meet back here again soon, because we're planning to have several of these shows to tell you more about interesting facts and things that you might like to know about. So if you see friends and that know me or have seen me in the movie, please let them know that I'll be on here for several shows, and that we can become real good friends and very close. And who knows, you may even want to write in or call in for information, and I can answer it on this program. So anyway, you take care, and I hope to see you again real soon. And have a wonderful day, and take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.